Hello and welcome to another video by George's Shed, and today on part 2 of the tank build I'm going to be making the tracks actually work. Let's get started. Okay, so here are the two track modules that we made in the previous video. So now I'm going to start on the body. So here are the two body pieces that I've printed, and these are 0.8mm thick for the majority of it, which is double the nozzle width, so that's twice round. And again, I've cut these into two pieces because if you notice there's this square cut out the middle of it. So if I printed it as one piece, then there'll obviously be a really big bridge, and that would not print very well over such a large distance. So I created this little like inlay bit here, so that allows these two pieces to slot together like that to become one, and then this piece in the middle also strengthens it. So I'm just going to glue them together using a bit of hot glue like that. So now those are attached together. Now the next step is to attach the track modules to it. So these are quite a tight fit, but then that's good because it means that they're not going to detach. So that it can get pushed on there nicely. Like that, and there we can see that there is one track module attached. And I'm not going to glue these on for now, just in case I need to modify them. So now I'm going to attach the other track to the other side, the right way up. Like that. So there are our track modules, and now we've actually got a working drive system for the tank. So now the next step is to start to think about the controls of the tank. Okay, so here's the tank. So how we're going to control the motors is by using this. So this is an H-bridge, and what this allows us to do is control the motor in both the forward and backwards direction. So this is a dual H-bridge, so this allows us to control two motors. And although in here there's four motors, each pair of motors are wired together, so they can be controlled as if there were only two motors. So there's two outputs here on the side, and then there's inputs here, and then the four control pins. So this controls each motor and if it's going forward or backwards. So this will also allow us to control the speed of the tank, because if we turn one of the inputs on and off really quickly, then it's only going to give the motor half power or 3/4 power, so we can control the speed. And you probably know that's called pulse width modulation. So we're going to try and mount this in the tank, and we're going to mount this about here, and then the wires from the motors are going to come into the side. Okay, so there are the motors wired up now. So now we can start to see the layout of the tank. So this is the battery that we're going to start off using. Obviously in the future we can increase the capacity, but this battery fits nice and snugly in the front of the tank like that. And that also gives us room for the main control board, which will probably sit about here. Okay, so I've got this old remote control here. This is only a 3-channel one, which by today's standards is definitely not very good. So for the tank control, we're going to want forwards, backwards, left and right. So because this right one only goes up and down, I'm going to just use this one for now. So this gimbal is held on with 2 screws. So there we go, that is our gimbal detached. And then now we've got to remove all of the wires. Like that. So there is our free gimbal on its own. Okay, so as you can see, I've done quite a lot with the tank since the previous clip. So now the tracks are obviously working. So the next step was to wire it up and make it work. So I thought I'd do an update of how the tank's working and how far I've got. So I'll just do a quick overview of the electronics. So we've got an H-bridge, which I've shown in a previous episode, but that's what controls the motors. We've then got an Arduino Nano and a HC12 wireless module. So this allows it to talk to this Arduino Uno, which has another HC12, and this has a joystick on it, which you saw me take out of the remote control transmitter. So now if I connect it up to the battery, then we can see it working. So now I've got both tracks working in the X direction only, so the moment it doesn't turn, but as you can see, the joystick controls the tracks. So we've got forwards and backwards. So at the moment both the tracks just move together. So now the next step is to make them be able to move at different speeds and in different directions to allow it to turn. Okay, so I've finally got the tank to a point where it just about functions. And the key thing I'll show you if you want to build your own tank is when you're coding it, it is incredibly useful to rest on something so the tracks don't touch the floor. So when you test it, it doesn't actually drive all over the place. So I've managed to sort of wire it up so it is all wireless, so there's no connection to the computer or anything. It's all powered off the internal LiPo battery. But now I've done that, I also need to make the remote control not be connected to the computer. So I've just cut this piece of wood and I'm just going to glue some of this stuff on here, and then I'm going to have to get a battery and a voltage regulator to make it all a bit more wireless. So for now I'm just going to glue the components straight down. Okay, so we're here outside on the grass in the lovely drizzle, and here is the lovely remote control that I've thrown together. So the tank is all powered up and ready to go, so. And it's a bit jerky because there's some bugs in the program that I have to fix. So as you can see, it works. I haven't added an antenna on the remote control, so the range isn't very good. So there we go, that is the end of part 3.